This video is sponsored by Coofandy. Can you feel that? The searing summer heat being blown away by autumn's breeze? This pretentious monologue is probably making you want to choke me through the screen. Well, too bad, you can't. Anyways, Coofandy, high-quality men's clothing. Of course, you already know that they're sponsoring Christopher Bell at Martinsville in a couple of weeks, and that the man knows how to dress, but did you know about their other collections too? Coofandy has a vast variety of choices to choose from, and were kind enough to send me this black button-down and these white dress pants to try on for myself. And I love them so much, I even wore them to the race. Yep, it was definitely not too hot to wear this. That's really me right there, yep. So if you're looking to look your best for the final stretch of the NASCAR season, go to Coofandy.com and use my code EP25 for 25% off site-wide. Again, that's EP25 at Coofandy.com. Thanks again to Coofandy for sponsoring this video, and I hope you enjoy. The great Reese Bobby once said,
"Man, I gotta lay off the peyote."
Oh, wait, wrong quote.
If you ain't first, you're last.
This sentence, while technically not true, perfectly embodies the spirit of competition. No matter what history you hold or how you go about getting there, everybody who enters a game or a fight or a battle or a race does it to win. Of course, some have better odds than others, often reflected by how many cylinders they're running on, but most will tell you that the whole point of even being there is to win. And in the closing laps of the 2020 Truck Series Championship race, Brett Moffitt looked poised to do just that. Leading by half a straightaway in the waning laps, the only thing that could stop him was a freak accident. Though, as we all know by now, NASCAR can get pretty freaky. Of course, a truck that was 3 laps down had to spoil the party for everyone, and on the ensuing restart, we would witness Moffitt suffer one of the greatest late race collapses we've ever seen. But the third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Enter his teammate.
The California kid is gonna do it! Sheldon Creed wins the championship!
In a single lap, the number 2 truck soared from 9th to 1st, stealing the race and the championship right out from under Brett. Though winning races and championships in a truck is nothing new to this driver. Winner of more Stadium Super Truck races than any other driver in the sport's short history, and now a NASCAR Truck Series champion, the subject of today's video is Sheldon Creed. Strange name, I know.
Sheldon?
Yes, that's my first name.
And it would be forever etched onto a NASCAR championship trophy. But hold on there, partner. While this particular chapter has a happy ending, the next one wouldn't be so rewarding. While he still won a handful of races in 2021, he narrowly missed the final round of the playoffs and wouldn't get a shot to defend his crown. Although, if you ask me, what's more embarrassing was him not having a sponsor in Daytona. The series champion, in the second race of the year, had no sponsor.
What are you doing?
But while Sheldon Creed might have missed out on his championship race, Daniel Hemrick didn't. Heading into the next day's Xfinity Series Championship, Hemrick had just completed one of the most consistent yet somehow disappointing runs in recent memory. Heading into the title decider, he was coming off a stretch of 6 straight weeks with only one finish worse than 5th. That, however, wasn't the stat on everyone's mind. That would be the series record he had just tied in Texas. In that race, he collected his 10th career second-place finish, tying him with Dale Jarrett for the most runner-ups without a single win. That's right, he wasn't just winless on the year, he was winless through his whole career in every level of NASCAR, becoming the first driver to reach the championship 4 without ever reaching victory lane. That fact alone, along with his hauler breaking down on the way to the track, had all eyes on him heading into the final race in Phoenix. Could he do the impossible? Could a driver who has never won a race win a championship? Well, technically no, because he won this race.
Out of 4, they're side by side. Hemrick's gonna win it at the line. Daniel Hemrick just silenced the doubters. He's made his own history.
If you want to hear a more long-winded account of this story, you can check out this video from a few years ago, although it hasn't aged so well since he won a second race earlier this year. Thanks, Daniel. Also, I may or may not have quoted Eminem at the end of it, sorry, I was still new. But with this tale's incredible climax, the record was set in stone. Dale Jarrett and Daniel Hemrick, 10 runner-ups before their first Xfinity Series win. So why do I bring this up? I mean, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about some dude named Sheldon. Well, that record, originally held by DJ, stood unmatched for over 35 years. It took decades before it could even be touched, and still never passed. Which is probably a good thing. Nobody really wants this record.
I don't really want this.
But that does beg the question, when would we see its next challenger? It'd have to be a while, right? By the way, next year, Sheldon Creed is moving up to the Xfinity Series. I think you see where this is going.
Kyle
Horse is going to try to get 2 for 1. He's got the 9. Will he get to the inside of the 2 as well?
Oh, there's a lot of contact. I want to 2. And now Larson readies the car again.
Watch Noah Gregson right here.
The 9 looking low. Noah Gregson to the low side. And Creed, he pulls the video game move. He's in the wall. Can he keep the throttle up? Here comes Noah Gregson. Creed cannot do it. And Gregson will win at Darlington.
Hey, of all the ways to come up short, this was pretty badass. After a hum-ho rookie season so far, Creed surprised everyone with his late surge in Darlington. He even rode the wall before it was cool, and although he couldn't quite hang on to P1, P2 was still his new career best, hence his lack of remorse after the race.
Hope I gave the fans a show there. That was a wild ending, and I want to thank them for sticking out the rain.
Oh, Sheldon, if only you knew what the future had in store.
The white flag, one more time around. Jones gets tagged by the 54.
Whoa!
Ty Gibbs out front, Jones around, caution comes out.
That's right, often lost in this finish was Sheldon Creed sneaking by to take his second place, beating the other 7 playoff drivers in the process. Creed hadn't even made the playoffs this year, but his consistently improving results had everyone convinced that things could change come 2023. And in Talladega, they seemed to be right. With just a lap and a half to go, Creed took the point, holding firm and holding serve. It's just a shame that his teammate Austin Hill had to blow a tire and leave a piece of his quarter panel in turn 1. And no, that is not the last time he will come up in this video.
Those pesky teammates, Joey. Ugh.
I'm glad we never had an issue like that, Brad.
Unfortunately, the following restart didn't shake Creed's way, and he'd have to settle for finishing second to Jeb. Though shortly after Ty Gibbs received a taste of his own medicine, and Josh Berry slipped on a banana peel, and Sam Mayer trailed with a tire rub heading into the last lap, could Creed finally hold on, right?
And now side by side for the lead. Creed misses turn 7.
You had an opportunity, and you blew it.
Who knows, maybe he has OCD and just wanted the car numbers to match the finishing positions, but generational fumble aside, the wheel has to turn at some point. You can't just finish second forever. And hey, there's always next week.
They're side by side. Allgaier at the line. He'll win at Daytona. Creed 5/1000ths of a second away from his first Xfinity Series win.
An interval so small that the camera could barely even recognize it. So small that I can't capture it in this 30 FPS video. 5/1000ths of a second. That was all that stood between victory and Sheldon. He had come up short once again. Imperceivably short, but short nonetheless. And now boasting 5 runner-up finishes in just under a year, he was already halfway to the record that nobody wants. Silver lining, though, is that he did make the 2023 playoffs and fared well in the first round. If only the same could be said for the second, as he wound up in must-win territory at the elimination race in Martinsville. To stay in the hunt, he had to drive desperate, and while he stayed in the mix through most of the race, that desperation wouldn't really show until the final restart. Remember this guy? His teammate, Austin Hill? This is where he re-enters the story. Lined up beside Creed with 2 laps to go, I'll just roll it.
He's never won in the Xfinity Series. They smoked the tires. Here comes the 7. Contact made. The 7 of Allgaier on the inside. Creed, Allgaier's going to win at Martinsville.
It's bad enough when you get eliminated from the playoffs. It's bad enough to be doored by your teammate. It's bad enough knowing that if he hadn't doored you, you both likely could have raced for the championship the following week. But of all the ways to lose again, of all the ways for this to end, Creed lost in the same way to the same car with the same paint scheme as last time.
I mean, if I wanted to guarantee myself a win, I do what Ty did last year and I spin him out into 1, right?
But hey, the season still had 1 race left. Like I said earlier, there's always next week.
Cole Custer is an Xfinity Series champion.
Even the most dispassionate have to admit, this is getting brutal. For the second time in 2023, he finished back-to-back races following the leader, making a total of 5 runner-ups on the year and 7 in total. Perhaps all he needed was a reset. Since his car owner was publicly calling him stupid in the media, you can bet he wouldn't be returning to the 2 car. But it wouldn't be long before he found a new chance with a new team. Joe Gibbs Racing, 2021 and 2022 Series champions. With this change came as great a shot as ever to finally get the monkey off his back. And while the 2023 season might have been over and there wasn't a race next week, there's always next year. Oh, wait, really?
Sheldon Creed gonna do it again. The Georgia drivers got the hat trick at the World Center of Racing. Austin Hill gets it done.
Picking up right where he left off in 23, Creed opened the 2024 season with his third runner-up finish in a row. And because life is cruel, it had to be behind his ex-teammate and now rival Austin Hill, who won his third season opener in a row. It was beginning to feel inevitable that this man and this record were destined for each other. And sure enough, after an up-and-down early stretch to the season, he fell just shy once again in Sonoma, failing to catch Shane Van Gisbergen, although, to be fair, who can? And at least this time it came to the chagrin of Austin Hill, so there's that, I guess. Also fitting that he did this in an orange number 18 car. Anyways, just 2 weeks later in New Hampshire, Creed held the lead at the white flag and could have claimed the checkered too, if not for his new teammate Christopher Bell, taking him 3 wide and also taking the win.
Sheldon Creed finishes second for the 10th time in his career.
That's not a stat I wanted to tie. Most seconds before a win. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to win one of these things if we keep running how we are.
I feel the need to bring back that Talladega Nights quote because, believe it or not, everyone, from the bushwhacker stinking up the show to the back marker who's just happy being in the show, everyone is trying to win. And in NASCAR, there's a lot of winning to go around. More than virtually any other motorsport in the world, you're likely to at least occasionally, accidentally, miraculously back your way into a win. But not him. Never him. For one reason or another, Sheldon Creed is the exception. His very existence goes against every statistical regularity that we've come to know. So it should come as no surprise that a month later in Michigan, yet again to the Hellman's number 7 car, Sheldon finished second.
My goal to acquire the secret formula for... Okay, that's enough!
If you asked most drivers to choose between finishing second or last, most would resoundingly take the latter, because at least when you get wrecked out of the race or are just slow as a snail, there's no delusions of victory. The cruel consideration of coming back can't torture your mind, but when you run second, that's all you can think about. And Sheldon had now experienced that thought more times than anybody else without ever experiencing what it was like on the other side. With this 11th career runner-up, he took sole possession of the most second-place finishes without a single win to his name. And while I wish I could end it there, he's just kept on piling them up ever since.
You're seeing right here, Sheldon Creed's trying to go by him, but he can't. Connor Zilic is going to win in his first start at the Glen. Now he's going to win at Bristol, and he wins the regular season. And guess who finished second?
It's amazing.
Oh! Will there be contact? There is! There goes Gray! Austin Hill! Out of nowhere, it's gonna win!
Oh my
in
goodness.
Martinsville! Do you believe that? Creed to second. Is there enough time? Driving down below Almirola, coming back to the checkers. Creed is there, but it's Almirola who wins it at Bristol.
As of the writing of this video, he's padded out the record to 15. 15 times now he's stood on the left side of the podium, but still, after over 3 years and 130 starts, has yet to touch the top. If this quote was true, you could say Sheldon Creed has finished in last a lot. In fact, he's never done anything but should that really diminish his reputation as a driver? Is this all he should be known for? Sorry, Reese Bobby, but most NASCAR races consist of around 40 cars, so finishing in second is no small feat, much less doing it 15 times over. And those 15 times are just a microcosm of all the races he's run and very well could have won. For example, he's also finished in third, a lot. Like in the 2024 Darlington race where he led with just 5 to go but suffered a poorly timed caution and a bad pit stop. Or all the times where he's gotten flat out crashed out, like in 2022 at Bristol, where while racing for the lead, he became a casualty of the war between Gragson and Gibbs. My point is that if you race for long enough, you'll always have those that you shoulda, coulda, woulda won. Creed just has the misfortune of having only those types of races. But it's not the trophy that makes the man, it's the man that makes the trophy. And when he finally gets his, you can bet it will be euphoric.
Victory, thy name is Sheldon.
I truly believe that one of these days, hopefully soon, he'll finally break through. If Dale Jarrett could do it, if Daniel Hemrick could do it, he can too. But until that day, Sheldon Creed can both revel and stew in holding the one record that nobody wants. Okay, hang on. Let's revisit the pain just one more time because I kind of glossed over this one, 2024, Watkins Glen. You see, at the time, Sheldon was pushing 27 years old. Not the youngest in the field, but still relatively so. Though I want you to guess the age of the driver who beat him. I'll give you a hint, he's younger. Was he 25, 23, 21? Was he even in his 20s? No. The man who handed Creed his 12th runner-up finish was just 18 years old. And the craziest part? This was his very first start. though it wouldn't be his last, not by a long shot. I think it's high time we talk about this guy, because I don't say this often, so trust me when I say, he could be the future of NASCAR. See you in the next video.